Hello there and welcome back to Murders on the Yangtze River. Now, last time we lost Shen. He disappeared after he went to go and see a school friend of his about the manuscript that is like similar to his brother's murder, and apparently the writer of that manuscript was his friend. Now, friend turned up murdered. Shen in jail for committing said murder. Now, we don't believe that at all. Doesn't seem the type. So we, or say we, Afu and Wen are now representing him in court because he's in court already. And that's essentially where we left off. We're right in the thick of the action in court. Because I was overrunning and there was no natural end point, like cut-off point. So I had to force one, which is why when we jump in, we're going to be straight into court. Straight in, right in the thick of it. And I'm going to have to try to remember what the question was when we jump in. And remember what's going on, which should be fun. It should be fun. So, that being said, please grab your favourite drinks and snacks. Curl up so I'm comfortable. Come hang out with me as we jump straight back into Murders on the Yangtze River. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. Right. So, like I said, we're literally jumping straight into the action. Right slap bang in here. We obviously was stumped with a question right away, and I need to remember what the question was and how to answer it. Although I think we're going to be all right here, because I'm going to say Shen's been framed, because I don't think Shen doesn't have a gun. He just found the gun. I don't know, they're quite weak. We know that Shen's been framed. So we're just going to say that and hope for the best. Does the defense counsel have anything to say regarding the charges? Well, Shen, Mr. Shen, he put it together, Afu. Mr. Shen is a detective. He would never commit murder. If his fingerprints are on the gun, it must have been planted on him. You say someone framed and set him up? Do you have any evidence? I'm Mr. Shen's assistant. We've worked together for many years. I've never seen him with a gun. That's not really going to hold any weight in court, is it? They're not going to be able to do his testimony. On the night of the case, he went to the appointment empty-handed. Mr. Shu, your current role as a defense counsel. We cannot accept your testimony. This gun was owned by the victim. This gun was kept in a drawer in his study. In other words, the defendant found the gun at the crime scene and used it to commit the murder. The murder occurred between 8 and 8:30 p.m. During 7:30 to 8:30, only the accused was seen at the scene. Therefore, no matter how you look at it, the murderer can only be the defendant. Are you certain that only Shen entered the scene? There are witnesses who can testify to that. Ouch. The facts of this case sound relatively clear. Does anyone have any doubts? Yes, we have doubts. We will always have doubts. We can't let this case stop. The prosecution has no objections. Wait, do we object? Yes, we object. If not, we will proceed to the sentencing phase. It's up to Judge Kwan to decide. Is it really going to end like this? Wait a minute. I don't know who said that. The defense counsel requests to cross-examine the evidence presented by the prosecutor. Cross-examine? Is it necessary? The defense counsel believes it is necessary. Judge Herman just mentioned the importance of procedural justice. The defendant must have a chance to challenge and refute evidence detrimental to their case. Well, what do you think, Judge Herman? Your Honours, I agree to the cross-examination. Then let's begin. Corson, have you found any doubts? Probably not, no. Not yet. Well, what should we do then? Try to find any minor inconsistencies and prolong the trial. This is the final verdict that will determine Mr. Shen's fate. Until the last moment, when all options are exhausted, we cannot give up. What a cute couple. Right, we need to pull this apart. The victim, Stone Wu, was shot and killed in a study at Stone Foreign Goods Store. The bullet found at the crime scene came from a Colt M1903 pistol, and on this pistol the defender's fingerprints were found. So bullet definitely came from this gun. This gun definitely had Shen's fingerprints on it. Gun was the victim's weapon, originally kept in a drawer in his study. Was it not locked? That's my question. The murder occurred between 8 and 8:30 p.m. During 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. only Mr. Shen was seen at the scene. Right. Victim Somu was shot and killed in the study at Stone Foreign Goods Store. Can't really dingy that one, but have evidence for that. Can't question that one. Bullet found at the crime scene came from, you can't question that because obviously it's the scientific evidence behind it, and it matches this gun, as I've said already. Gun was the victim's weapon, originally kept in a drawer in his study. I don't think we have any evidence to question that, because all of this is circumstantial stuff, like not really directly tied. So it has to be this. The murder occurred between 8 and 8:30. During the 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. only Mr. Shen was seen at the scene. So it has to be this one that is we need to query. So we're looking at timings. Every evening from 7:30 to 8:45. Okay, so that's not going to match up. That doesn't have any dates on it. That doesn't have, well, that's September 14th, but that's not involved in this case. News article's not going to help us. That's not going to help us. Autopsy results. Died between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. A bullet penetrated his left chest, bruises on the head, signs of binding on the body. So he died between 8 and 10. Why has he narrowed it down to 8 and 8:30? Submit that one right now. It's the little things that you got pick apart. Although we presented the evidence, but can we really do this? Absolutely we can. Yes, we can. We may not have all the details, but we can still create a strong presence. We'll have to fight. We can't just roll over. Defense counsel, why are you presenting this autopsy report? Because, excuse me, because the descriptions here are inconsistent. What exactly is inconsistent? After all, the information states the time of death is between 8 and 10 p.m. But Mr. Joseph mentioned 8 to 8:30 p.m. Indeed it is inconsistent.
Huh?
Oh, it was actually accepted? Well done, Afu. Prosecutor, please explain this issue. The victim died immediately after being shot. And the reason why we estimated a shortened time of death is that After the defendant was arrested around 8:30 p.m, the pistol was also confiscated by the police. That actually hurts. That one hurts. We did so well there, and then just to have it knocked out of our hand. The confiscated weapon cannot be used for murder. The prosecutor's inference is reasonable. I object. The defendant entered the scene at around 8 p.m. At that time, there was no one inside the foreign goods store. That includes victim. That includes the victim, yeah. Defendant, is this the situation at that time? She is right. The prosecutor just stated only the defendant was present at the scene between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. The prosecutor also stated that the murder occurred between 8 and 8:30 p.m. Considering that the foreign goods store only has one entrance, the witness couldn't have only seen the defendant entering the foreign goods store. Then who else should the witness have seen? Well, the victim, to be fair, because he wasn't there. He wasn't there when Shen arrived. Are you saying the victim? Yes, we are. That's right. Mr. Shen went to the store for an appointment that night, but the victim was not in the store. If the witness the prosecutor mentioned has been around the scene all along, but Stone Wu was confirmed to be killed between 8 and 8:30, the witness should have seen Stone Wu entering the foreign goods store. I object. The counsel's inference is based on the defendant's unilateral statement and is questionable. Rather than saying the witness was mistaken, it's more likely that the defendant is lying. I object too. The prosecutor's witness testimony is also unilateral. What's the difference between them? What's the difference between them? Can the defendant's claims have the same weight as the witness's testimony? The defendant even claims he did not commit the murder. Should the court simply believe that? Ideally, yes. Ideally, that would be the best outcome. It's not going to work like that. It doesn't work like that. Maybe shouldn't work like that. But that would be easier for everyone. But who can guarantee that the witness won't lie or that she won't admit something? Well, the defendant's testimony should indeed not be trusted. But whether the witness's testimony is true or not also needs to be verified. What do you think, Judge Herman? Prosecutor, bring your witness to the court. Who do I have? Witness, what is your full name and occupation? Oh, hello. I like the look. She's got a fantastic set of pixels. Dang, alright. You can just call me Miss Lee. And my occupation, it's It Girl. I was going to say IT girl. Computers weren't around this time. It's got to be a different thing. I think it's a fashion thing. I think the It girls, like the socialites before, like social influencers before social media. Am I correct? We should probably look that up. I'm guessing. I am purely guessing. However, we're not going to look it up because we don't want to get stuck in the weeds. We've got Shen to save. Witness, in court, you need to provide your full name and real occupation. All of my fans in Shanghai call me Miss Lee. Being an It Girl is my occupation. I'm not lying to you. It's her. Caution, do you know the witness? Her name is Lee Saifu, a writer. She's a column in the newspaper recommending good things. Anything she recommends is guaranteed to be sold out the next day. So she is an influencer. Is that true? Let me have a look at Miss Lee's column. Stylish nightlife, this cafe in Jing'an may not be deluxe, but exudes elegant charms. Neon nights, great music, fantastic evening, planned to stay until 9 but had to leave early. Seems to be a very new style of writing, very different from what you write. Her articles are to package life and show the beauty while man aim to expose life and the truth. Different writing styles entirely. Miss Lee, on the night of September 14th, did you witness the defendant entering the foreign goods store? I didn't realise that the murder took the same place as the thing. That brings a whole new bit of evidence. That brings this evidence, brings this into play a little bit more because it's happened on the 14th, the same date of the murder. Sure. Then please tell us about what you saw that evening. Testimony. What did you see? And how can we destroy it? On that evening, I was sitting across from a stone foreign goods store enjoying some cafe. Oh, cafe? Cafe? It was around 7:50 and I saw Mr. Shen walk into the foreign goods store. Wait a minute. Are you sure that person was Mr. Shen? I'm certain. How can you be certain? I have eyes. I have a natural ability to remember good-looking people. I had seen him that afternoon in the stone foreign goods store. That's not the outfit we were wearing, but I understand because I think that's the default outfit. I forgot we changed the outfit to suit. I also saw this young man in the defense counsel's seat. Witness, please continue describing what you saw and heard that evening. Mr. Shen stayed inside for about 25 minutes and he came out around 8:15. When he came out, his face was pale and I wondered what he had experienced inside. After he left, I stayed for a while longer and left the cafe at 8:30. It's about an hour in all. Wait a minute, how come you remember the time so clearly? Because there was a clock across the street. Miss Lee, as a writer, you were busy writing articles while drinking cafe. You couldn't possibly be focused on watching all the time, right? My dear, when I'm enjoying cafe, I don't write anything, just simply admiring the scenery. That evening, there weren't many pedestrians. It was rare to come across someone so good looking. I just took a few extra glances. Is it a crime?
Huh?
No. You're all right to look. It's if you touch, that's the problem. Without permission. Touch without permission. I'll reiterate that. Touch without permission. No, it's not a crime. Miss Lee, if someone wanted to enter the foreign goods store, would they definitely pass by you? Yes, I was sitting directly across from the foreign goods store. Did you see the victim, Stone Wu, enter the foreign goods store? No, I didn't. Were there any other people who entered the foreign goods store? No, not at all. Miss Lee is really good at saying things perfectly. Is that her revelation now? By the way, maybe we could talk about this. His expression. I don't think the other two are going to be relevant. You just mentioned that Mr. Shen didn't look good when he came out. Can you explain in detail? Well, his face was so pale, like a white sheet of paper. There was no trace of colour at all. And, you know, he was walking unsteadily, even holding his head, with a very pained expression. By the way, maybe we could talk about this. Your column of... Okay, so that gave us a little bit extra information. Column. We've got the eye thing there. Does that mean it's important? Miss Lee, I'm curious. Why did you leave the cafe early after Mr. Shen left the foreign goods store? What kind of question is that? I left the cafe simply because I finish my cafe. The defense counsel must not ask questions arbitrarily. No, I'm not asking arbitrarily. Everyone, please take a look at this. A stylish nightlife, this cafe in Jing'an may not be a deluxe but exudes elegant charms. Rainbow lights, great music, fantastic evening. Planned to stay till 9 but had to leave early. The wording's very misleading. If you left because you finished your drink, you would have said that you left because you finished your drink. Miss Lee, this is the column you published in the newspaper the next day. It's about what happened at the cafe on the night of the case, right? Yes? You mentioned that you had something else to do and that's why you left early. What was it? Oh, it's not a secret. I heard the commotion from the other side of the road and out of curiosity I went to see it. I didn't expect it to be the police arresting someone, and it was Mr. Shen who got arrested. Did you leave early just because you heard the commotion? Yes, when I was enjoying cafe, it was quiet around. Once it got noisy, the ambience was ruined. Where did you go after you left? While watching the commotion, I met reporter Cheng. He asked me for an interview. So we went to a bar and chatted for over an hour. Oh, by the way, Cheng mentioned you to me. No doubt he did. Alright. Because then I feel there's something unnatural in Miss Lee's testimony. Tell me more about it. I can't pinpoint it right now, but I remember in such a case, Shen would compare the testimony with the evidence, finding any contradictions. That is very true. Let's try this method then. Okay. That night I was sitting across from Stone Foreign Goods store enjoying my cafe. Right, can't really clarify that one. Around 7:50, so we were entering the foreign goods store. Total nonsense. That's probably going to come into play in this chunk here. That might be the evidence. Came out about 8:15. When he came out, his face was quite pale. I wonder what he went through inside. Sat there for an hour. It's quiet around until I heard the commotion from across the road. During that time, no one else entered or exited the foreign goods store. Could it be that? Could it be as simple as that? Should we try it? When he came out, his face was quite pale. I wonder what he went through inside. He found that note. I can't see any contradictions here. Do you have any insights to determine? Okay, we got that wrong. There are no contradictions between the two statements. If that's the case, the defense counsel should think again. Alright. Alright, so it's not that then. Could it be that? Should have said it was quiet. Where is it? Is it that one? It's quiet around until I heard the commotion from across the road. If it's quiet. Hot performance. There's going to be people milling around outside from 7:30 to 8:45. So maybe. All right, so we may be correct in this because we didn't get the same answers we got before. Miss Lee, have you heard the sound of the magic show ending? Not only did I hear it, but I also saw it. That happened after Mr. Shen was arrested. Okay, we were wrong. I seem to have misread the timing. That was a red herring. That was a false. That was a tease. I thought I got it right. Sat for an hour, quite a run around until I heard the commotion from across the road. Right. So moved on to the statement. Sat there for an hour. It's quiet around until I heard the commotion from across this road. So she was sitting out front for an hour, and then she heard the commotion from across the road, which was when he was being arrested. So if it was quiet, shouldn't she have heard the gunshot? Yes, she would have heard the gunshot. Miss Lee, during the time you were enjoying your cafe, did you hear any strange sounds? What kind of sounds do you consider strange? Sounds that would disturb an it girl's quiet enjoyment of a cafe? I object. This is inducive questioning. I object to your objection. I thought it was simply answering the witness's question. Oh well, even though I don't quite understand what inducive questioning is, I don't see anything inappropriate about the defense counsel's statement. I think the defense counsel's question was quite interesting. But it's a pity that I haven't heard such a voice. During that 1 hour of cafe drinking, the surroundings were so quiet. Ha! That's exactly where the contradiction lies. Huh? Mr. Joseph said that Storm Wu was shot and killed between 8 and 8:30. Since you could hear the noise from a distant street at that time, it's impossible for you to not hear the gunshot from the opposite side. Ha! Got you now. Emotional damage. Does that count as emotional damage? Miss Lee, can you explain what happened? There really was no sound of a gunshot. Your Honours, if the witness is telling the truth, it means that during the time Mr. Shen entered the crime scene, there was no shooting. Therefore, he couldn't be the murderer. Judge Kwan, is it possible to consider declaring Shen innocent now? No. Miss Wen, Afu, your reasoning has impressed us to such an extent. But unfortunately, fingerprints, firearms, bullets, the body and the crime scene all form a full chain of evidence. They will all point to the defendant. In this situation, we should not question whether the defendant is the murderer. Instead, we should consider, how did the murderer manage to cover the sound of the gunshot? What methods are there to cover the sound of a pistol? Miss Lee, when you were enjoying cafe, did you hear any bell ringing? Bell ringing? Yes, there's a clock tower across the street. At 8 o'clock, the clock rang many times loudly. You're accustomed to it, so you won't find the bell ringing noisy. Seems like it. The pedestrians around are the same. So as long as the murderer shoots when the bell rings, it won't attract attention from outsiders. Therefore, Miss Lee not noticing the gunshot doesn't mean that defendant didn't fire the gun. Now, sorry, that is emotional damage. That one, that hurts my case. We're going to win, though. We're still going to win. It's a minor setback. The chain of evidence proving the defendant's murder has been closed. Indeed, Prosecutor Bell lives up to his reputation. If the defense counsel cannot find new doubts, the case can be concluded. What should I say next, Gushin? The opponent is too powerful. What? What should we do? This is the final judgment. Our performance in the debate should have given us some room to maneuver in the court. At this point, we can only try everything we can, resort to some disruptive tactics. Even if we ultimately lose, we'll fight until the very end. What? How should we go about these disruptive tactics? We should present any viewpoint or evidence that's advantageous to us. Advantageous? But what can we present? What can we present that's advantageous to us as a disruption? I mean, that's caused quite a sensation. So local people would know him. Surely? Talk about the tech. That's the only thing I can think of. The rest all seems like circumstantial. It's not going to benefit us. Judge Kwan, the defense counsel still has something to say. My client, Mr. Shen Chung-ping, is a very talented detective. He solved many cases, including a well-known case in Hanyang Ironworks. My client found the truth based on subtle clues at the crime scene in the absence of a dead body. Yes, and he cracked the case within 1 day. That's why the defense name looked so familiar. So it's the detective who solved the Ironworks case. How could such a reputable detective end up committing murder? He wouldn't. Judge Shen's a gentle and righteous person. He would never commit murder. I do feel something illogical here. Judge Kwan, in the Qing dynasty, judges often judge by their feelings. It is indeed incorrect. The defendant's profession should not change the determination of their criminal acts. Somewhat valid. We should rely on evidence and logical reasoning. I have an itchy eye. Excuse me. Just hold your breath. Counsel, please explain, is there any connection between the Hanyang case and this murder case?
Huh?
The connections... It's, The connection is, of course, Mr. Shen. Think about it, Mr. Shen was able to solve a difficult case in Hanyang, which means he's a smart detective. I think I may know where you're going with this. It's implausible a smart detective like Mr. Shen would be easily caught if he committed murder. Actually, that's where I thought he was going to take it. I'm glad he took it there. Right. There is indeed a doubt. He was too easily caught. Everyone, there's a major doubt here. Mr. Shen was arrested because he was seen in the theatre carrying a pistol. Mr. Shen was arrested at 8:30 in the evening, just a few minutes after he left the scene. And according to Mr. Joseph's claim, Mr. Shen used the sound of the clock to cover the gunshot. Isn't it contradictory that Mr. Shen, as Mr. Joseph claims, differs from the one arrested? Look at that eye, the pop eye, the eye pop there. He's surprised. If Mr. Shen really used the gun to commit the murder, why would he expose it before a large crowd? He may have thought of covering the gunshot sound, but didn't think of hiding the gun itself. Again, very valid. Go in. Order! Order! Defense counsel, your perspective is quite interesting. Please continue. Sure, I don't mind. The victim's body was found by a female store assistant the next morning after the crime. Only after the store assistant found the body did the police receive the report. Yet they were able to arrest Mr. Shen in advance as if they had foreknowledge. The timing of the murderer and Mr. Shen's arrest almost seamlessly align. Isn't that too coincidental? Again, very valid. I didn't actually put that together. I'm a little bit mad about that. Unless someone deliberately framed Mr. Shen. Mr. Joseph, can you respond to these doubts? Your Honor, Mr. Shen's arrest at the theatre was not purely coincidental. At that time, the gun was not completely exposed either. So, can you present evidence regarding the process of Mr. Shen's arrest for cross-examination? The murder weapon and the bullets, also the crime scene. I want to investigate everything. These requests are reasonable, and we will cooperate. As a prosecutor, I also hope that this case can be thoroughly investigated, leaving no doubt. But the actions of the police at the theatre on the night of the crime involved another case. That case is classified, and it will take some time to retrieve the case files. I think that other case has something to do with that. Commit theft September 14th, Shanghai, they believe that with a Shanghai Phantom, because that talks about us Shen being the Shanghai Phantom as well. I think that's going to come into play, and I think this is the formula for the soda, basically. I think it's for the soda. And I think that was stolen maybe by Stonewood. Where did we find that actually? Sergeant Singh's office. Alright. I don't remember how we got that. It was found in his office, but where was it in his office? Sorry, distraction. Should we reschedule the trial then? Yes. Took a while there. I thought I'm trying to run off. I announce the temporary suspension of the trial of Shen Chongping, accused of murdering Stone Wu. The trial will resume in 2 days. Alright. So we got out with that one. Still got that kink in me back. Well, it's been there for a while. I should really get it checked out because it's been there a while and I just can't shift it. But I don't know whether it's one of those. I don't know whether it's just old age because I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Your performance in the courtroom was impressive. Luckily, my heart was in my throat when the judge made the final statement. No matter what, we managed to seize the opportunity to examine the evidence and revisit the scene. As long as we can find a new breakthrough, there's still a chance of winning in the next trial. You've gone to all this trouble for me. Let's save your appreciation till we win the next trial. However, speaking of which, Mr. Shen, did you really not see anyone during your 20-minute stay in the foreign goods store? No. Then it's strange indeed. Police has confirmed Stone Wu was indeed shot and killed in the study from the store. Of the store. Miss Lee, sitting across from the store, didn't see anyone else entering except you. If Stormboo was neither inside the store nor ever went in, then could it be possible for a body to appear at the crime scene out of thin air? Absolutely not. The layout of the store is clear, with 2 rooms, one for business, the other for bookkeeping. At that time, both rooms were empty with no one inside.
Huh?
Then, how did the body appear so soon as Shen left? This is indeed very strange. Afu, we need to go to the crime scene and search it thoroughly. I'm sorry, the visiting time is over. I must take Mr. Shen back now. Afu? Do you have any instructions, Shen? Yes? No? Maybe? There could be obstacles and dangers on the path of your investigation. Take care of yourself. No problem. Shen, remember to eat on time, take care and be sure to hold on to the next trial. Okay. Alright. Oh, hello, Joseph. Can we have a word with you, please? You two were quite impressive in the courtroom. Fu and I tried everything we could to win a chance for a retrial. But, Mr. Joseph, do you really believe that Mr. Shen's the murderer? As a friend, I hope he is not. But as a prosecutor, I must avoid subjective judgments. All decisions in the court are based on evidence and logic. That's the only path to the truth. Mr. Joseph, you know Shen. He wouldn't commit murder. Then prove it in court. Hand me a card. Oh, here is the investigation permit. With this, no one will stop you from entering the crime scene. Nice. Alright, let's go see the crime scene then. Officer Wu has already prepared the evidence you need. It's on the table over there. Like, over there in the crime scene, or over there as in somewhere else in these boxes, maybe? Thank you, Mr. Joseph. I hope the next trial will be fair and balanced showdown. I fully agree with Mr. Joseph's ideology. In the next trial, we'll defeat you with evidence and logic. I'll be waiting eagerly. Right. So when he says... Okay, it's in the box. I was going to say that the strange... Very strange to have it at the... Would have been very strange to have it at the crime scene. Let's look at the evidence before we head to the crime scene. Inside the box are the autopsy records of Stormboo and crime scene photos. Mr. Joseph already presented these pieces of evidence in court. There aren't any new discoveries. Alright, so... evidence box number 2. This box contains Shen's personal belongings. Check that in Sergeant Singh's office and there was nothing special. Did Afu visit Sergeant Singh's office?
Huh?
No. Did I? No, he didn't. He means that Sergeant Singh must have already inspected this box of items in his office. He probably didn't notice anything unusual. Right. I didn't go to Sergeant Singh's office last night. Yeah, it was a close call, that one. To be fair, I completely forgot that we'd broken in. And to be fair, I didn't realise he'd said that out loud. Last and final one. Inside this evidence box is a pistol, a bullet head with blood, and a bullet shell. There's also a fingerprint comparison report and a barrel rifling trace comparison report. Which one would you like to check? I'm going to check all of them, to be fair. The real question is, which one first? Mr. Joseph has shown the pistol and the bullet. It's the first time seeing the bullet shell. bullet shell was collected from the crime scene. No fingerprints were found on it. That's why it wasn't presented in court. Can I take another look? Of course. Of course you can. The bullet shell is brass coloured and relatively smooth. The bottom of the bullet shell is marked with a 32 auto, indicating it's a 32 caliber bullet. There's a tongue-shaped groove at the centre of the bottom. It's a trace left by the firing pin. That one there. It doesn't appear to have any abnormalities. Can I have a look at the gun itself? According to the description of the fingerprint comparison report, police extracted 3 clear fingerprints from the grip of his pistol. They're from the thumb, index finger and middle finger of Shen's right hand. No other fingerprints were found. Barrel rifling marks. The police used fingerprint comparison to determine if the gun fired the bullets at the scene. Firstly, they loaded the gun with the bullets of the same caliber and fired them. Then they compared the texture on the side of the bullet under the microscope. The rifling on the 2 bullet heads are nearly identical, so they were fired from the same gun. These records don't have any differences from Mr. Joseph mentioned. I'll double check the pistol. Okay. Ooh, we can zoom, we can do a, not a zooming, but we can move. The description on the side of the gun reads caliber 32 rimless smokeless. That's very true. It does read that. It indicates that the pistol fires 32 caliber bullets. Can we have a look at that? No. Safety. This is a manual safety on the gun, which is currently in the locked position. That stops it firing, obviously. This is the base plate of the magazine. Can I double check the magazine? Of course you can. Look at that. That looks like, those look like fingerprints, all right. These are all 32 caliber bullets. They don't seem to differ much from the one found at the crime scene. Well, that definitely fingerprint. So that brings up a contradiction because the shell that was found at the scene had no fingerprint on it. What is this? Because you're gonna, when you push them into the magazine, you use your thumb, you've got a thumbprint right on the thing. I think it's use your thumb. I think it's easier. I've only ever seen, I can only go off media. I've only ever seen when they're putting them in, it's with the thumb. I've never seen anyone push them in with another finger. You may well be able to do it with other fingers. I've only ever seen it with a thumb though. What do you discover? From this angle, it looks like there are fingerprints on the bullet. Indeed, they do look like fingerprints. Officer Wu, have you checked for fingerprints on the magazine? No, we didn't. We didn't think there would be fingerprints on the magazine. Maybe this is the crucial information. Okay, I'll check it out now. Yes, there are fingerprints on there. Fingerprints were found on the side of each bullet in the magazine. Moreover, these fingerprints are different from Mr. Shen's fingerprints. That's great. Finally, there's a breakthrough. Nice. Of total 8 bullets, currently 7 are left. Each bullet has a fingerprint of an unknown individual on its side. Can we determine whose fingerprints they are? Not at the moment. I also found a palm print on the side of the magazine, but I can't determine the identity either. Please wait a moment. I'll go to the records room to check. That would be something that would be checked, like, immediately. The whole gun would have been checked. However, we are talking about is it the 1800s or 1700s that we're in here now? I think it's 1800s. Late 1800s, I can't remember the date. But back then, forensic kind of stuff was still in its infancy, so it's understandable that they would miss stuff like that. Or not even consider it. I think the fingerprint check may take some time. Let's go to the crime scene first. Alright. Hello, Cheng. Miss Wen, Shanghai is indeed a small place. We meet again. Mr. Cheng, you've discovered another big news story, haven't you? Well, well, I just plan to interview Mr. Shen and do some follow-up reporting. Mr. Cheng, I also have a question for you. Why do you smear Shen as an accomplice of the thief? Huh? It wasn't me who said it, it's the officer I interviewed. Then you should verify Mr. Shen was not in Shanghai when the theft occurred. Timeliness is most important for news. To release the interview quickly, that's called news. That's the problem with the news. Sorry, a little mini rant here. That's the problem with the news. And, well, news, broadcasting, just news, like journalists and stuff like that. A lot of it's come down to we don't care if we're right. We care if we're first. You know, we'll shove something out first to get it first, to get views, to get money, business kind of thing. I understand. But they care more about being first than being correct. Because they can always fix it. We can just fix it later. But by then, the damage is already done. In the court of public opinion, the damage is already done. That's one of my I have a problem with that, personally. That's a personal problem. You should not make fake news. If the facts have changed, then it can make an update, right? Case in point, right there. Alright, it's time for the interview now. See ya. Are you still thinking about what Toby Cheng said earlier? Yes, I'm riled up by it. Not really. Toby Cheng looked familiar to me. I finally remember where I'd seen him before. Where? On Shen's clue war, he was one of the suspects in Shen's brother's case. Interesting. So where we're going again? We're going crime scene. It's this way. It was left, wasn't it? We're not going to take the tram. It's literally just down the street. Oh, hello, small child. I never understood... Where are you going? I never understood that hairstyle for children. However, I'm not paid to understand these things. Hello. Officer Lee, I need to be let in. Entry to the crime scenes without permit from authorities is strictly prohibited. Just stop making things difficult for me. Hello, I have paperwork. Don't worry, Officer Lee. This time we have an investigation permit. Won't cause any trouble. Oh, that'll do. Since being approved, you can investigate in any way you want. But let's establish the rules first. Don't destroy anything. Basically, don't destroy anything. All items here must not be damaged or lost, or otherwise I'll be held accountable. Don't worry, officer. I've been with Shen in many crime scenes and I'm very experienced. What I'm worried about is you, young man. You seem restless and sure good at causing trouble.
Huh?
Me? Never. I would never cause trouble. Officer, you shouldn't judge people based on their appearance. Officer Lee, we understand the rules. Please tell us briefly about the crime scene. Then let me provide a brief overview. This store has a simple structure with just 2 rooms, a back room and an outer room. This is the outer room used for business purposes. The back room is a study, and it was in the study that the body was discovered. Is there anything in particular that was discovered in the outer room? I.e. the room 1 room now. Nothing in particular, but if I must say, after the incident, we checked the items with the store clerk. Only a bag of rice was missing.
What?
A bag of rice? All things? Just a bag of rice missing? Yes, nothing else was missing. A lost bag of rice. It's so strange. Why would the murderer take a bag of rice? That I don't know either. Maybe it was the victim who took it. The victim didn't leave, and he didn't enter either. There's nothing more to say. You can figure it out yourselves. Alright, so I guess we're going in. Do you want to have a look at... Should I have a look at that? An advertisement for Watson Cola Water. Yeah, I think this thing has something to do with this. Maybe we've got 3 clocks as well. Although it's a shop, to be fair. I was going to say, why has the guy got 3 clocks? And they all say at the same time. Left file cabinet. There's a flower vase on the left side of the bookcase with several skull paintings inside. The bottom left corner of the shelf is empty. White squares painted on the cabinet board. I can't see it because you guys are in the way. Officer, has something been taken away from here? There was originally a safe, but has been taken back to the police station as evidence. Is the safe also evidence related to the shooting case? I don't recall Mr. Joseph mentioning it. This was a special instruction given by Sergeant Singh when we arrived at the scene. Sergeant Singh often personally investigates the crime scene. He rarely visits the crime scene, but I read that completely wrong. I didn't realise that was a question until right at the very last second of us reading it. And I didn't reread it. He rarely visits the crime scene, but he has visited this store several times, making us search it over and over again. I feel he was not here to investigate the case, but more likely to search for something. The formula, probably. Because the formula is missing because it's in my pocket. Wait, is it actually in my pocket, or have we just got evidence that exists? What was he searching for? I'm sorry, I can't say that. Square out like. Officer, what was originally in this white square? That's where the bullet shell was found. Again, I can't see any of that because you're standing in the way. Right. I'm glad we've got this text to tell us what's here. Body outline. Officer, these white lines show the position and posture of Wu at the time of his death, right? That's correct. Also, I like that touch there as well. Obviously, doesn't have them on in here, but he has them on here. And in case you missed it or you've forgotten, that's because he doesn't like the sight of blood. So he puts his goggles on, those goggles, flips them down, so that it mutes the colour of blood. So he knows it's there, but he can't see it and doesn't get queasy. I heard that Wu was knocked unconscious by the murderer and then shot in the left chest. How did he end up lying sideways next to the bullet hole? Sergeant Singh analysed that the murderer had a deep resentment towards the victim. It is highly possible that after killing him, the murderer kicked the body a few times in anger. So that's how it is. Strange. Bullet hole. Yes, I'll take. I've really itchy ear. There's a bullet hole on the carpet and there's blood around the bullet hole. Through the bullet hole, you can see a hole in the floor underneath. So it went through the floor all the way downstairs. So does that mean there's a downstairs? That has to be a downstairs. The concave shape inside this box. That's the gun case. It's a pistol. Remember, Mr. Joseph said the gun belonged to the victim and was kept in the drawer in his study. Seems like this is the pistol box for storing the murder weapon. Side cabinet. This seems to be an account book of Wu's store. Stocked in on the 13th, soap, out matches, kerosene, out chime clock. Mr. Wu's handwriting is so messy, can't see what he wrote at all. This is the receipt and payment bookkeeping. We've had the accountant verify this ledger. It's just a daily record of goods transactions in the store, nothing special. Oh, but when I read that as out clock, is that out? As in it's left, it's been sold a clock. That makes more sense. I was wondering what an out clock was. Indentations on the carpet. There's some indents on the carpet. It appears to be the indentations of the desk legs. It's been several days and the indentations haven't completely disappeared. It means it's been moved recently. It seems this desk has been in this position for a long time and it was only recently moved. Do you think the murderer could do that? Cannot discern. If the murderer moved the desk, there must be a special reason behind it. Officer, may I lift the carpet to take a look? Be careful. Back of the carpet. The position of the bullet hole in the carpet matches the position of the one on the floor, which you would expect that. There are also some bloodstains on the back of the carpet that seem to seep through from the front. That is also what you would expect. It looks like there's two though. Huh. This is... Is there any new discovery of food? There are a few rice grains beneath the carpet near the bullet hole. Do we use that as a silencer? Do we use the rice thing as a bag of rice as a silencer? Rice underneath the carpet near the bullet hole? Strange. How could rice end up? Has rice been discovered on the other places as well? I'll check the room again. Okay, we inspect the entire room. Thanks for not having me do that. Gussin, no rice is found in any other location under the carpet. Not in other places of the room either. That means there are only a few rice grains near the bullet hole, which must mean something. Something important, at the very least. Check the desk. Since we're right here, that upside down painting as well looks strange to me. I don't know why it's upside down. Here's a set of tea utensils. Teapot, no problem. Teacups, also no problem. Here's a small stack of documents. Let me take a look. Still no problem. Let's have another look at the bullet hole. The bullet hole's not deep and the bullet has already been taken away by the police officers, so it didn't go downstairs. Cousin, did you see something shiny in the bullet hole? Yes, I saw it. Very small fan-shaped shiny piece. Can you recognise what this is? Not without having a proper close look at it. Looks like a fish scale. Okay. That survived a bullet? Or am I thinking completely different? Pinky nail sized fan shaped fragment found in the bullet holes at the seams. Looks like a fish scale. Right. Are we missing anything? Bronze statue. We'll go check out here as well. Small bronze figurine. Not sure what it's used for. Second cabinet on the right. So that one. Because again, like as I've seen the previous one, I would say that's 1, 2, 3, but apparently that's 1, 2, and 3. So this is the second one here. Many beautiful bottles and jars. They smell very nice. Various bottles displayed in the cabinet, different brands of distilled water. Not seen anything else. Floor. Gussin, there are many scratches on the floor that run parallel to the walls. It's as if this bookshelf's been moved before. Then let's also move it and take a look. Yeah, it's not moving. It's to do with that. I don't know why. If that is the secret lock to this, or the secret handle to this door, having it upside down is really weird. Can't be pushed. Feels like it's stuck somewhere. Could it be that there's a mechanism installed? It's so difficult for us to push it. A mechanism? Of course, it does seem quite strange. There might actually be some kind of mechanism. Investigate the shelf. It has to be that. But if that, like I say, if that is the case, right? If that is the mechanism, we're in the locked position. That is way too obvious because it's a picture that's designed to be right way up. If it was like an abstract that you could have it both ways and there's only one right way, you know, which is right side up, and then you can turn it upside down and thingy. That's way too obvious. It has to be that. A strange painting here with a strange subject. It's upside down. Even stranger. There must be something suspicious about this painting. I would have that the opposite way around. I would have it locked position, right way up, and upside down is the open position. Of course, there's indeed a mechanism. It can open a hidden door. What were you messing with earlier? I thought rotated a painting. I never expected there's another hidden space behind this bookshelf. It seems that the police didn't discover this hidden door in the previous searches. Unless, the only way I can think of that, I'm hopping back. We're having a chair incident. I'm hopping back to this painting. Unless whoever was the killer took the painting, fell off or something, and he put it back in the wrong spot, and he put it back upside down by accident. That's the only justification. And I'm going to let it go now. It's probably going to come back up in court later on, and I'm going to feel vindicated for focusing on this painting. Cousin, let's go down and take a look. Go down and take a look. Are you coming down with us, officer? I'm going to say yes. I never expected there to be such a large cellar underneath the store. It's so cold here and it feels eerie. I mean, if you have a store, you're going to have storeroom, aren't you? You should have a storeroom. Can't just get to everything and put it straight on the shelf. This looks like a wine cellar. Let's investigate. Are you not going to mention that? Are you not going to mention the shadow thing that just flew past? That looked like a cat. Also, it seemed to go through the wall. I didn't see it go upstairs. Alright, let's just go right. So let's just have a bit of a spy. Also, that's very high for a shelf. Various medicines on this shelf. Is Mr. Wu planning to enter the pharmaceutical business? It's not clear what the purpose is. We can make a note of it for now. Have a look at the wine barrel. Oh, this is smuggling. It could be a smuggling thing. There are many large wooden barrels placed here. This smell. It's red wine. Wine barrel, shelf. Okay. Boxes. On the wall, there's a row of ventilation outlets with 3 boxes placed in front of them. The 2 boxes on the left are labelled carp, while the one on the right, small croaker. Oh, is this cold storage for fish? The corner of the box on the right side has been opened and a white mist is floating out. Dry ice. To to, like, chill them. A whole box full of sardine, small crocus.
Huh?
Does Mr. Boo also run a fish selling business? I haven't heard about it. Maybe it's for himself. There are a lot of fish. That would make sense, but is there anything strange about it? He's preserving these small crocus with dry ice. Dry ice? What's that? It's witchcraft is what it is. It's frozen carbon dioxide with temperatures as low as -80. It effectively isolates oxygen. The preservation effect is excellent. But dry ice is expensive and rare. Using dry ice to preserve fish indicates vast wealth. You must really, 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 really love fish. Okay, let's continue. Statue or liquor rack. There are some types of foreign liquors as well as several bottles of distilled water. I think he's been doing smuggling. Fish right there as well. Look at that. On the table, there's a copper frog figurine. Next to it is a stack of account books. Question: the contents of this account book are different from the one in the study. Double bookkeeping. Many unscrupulous merchants do this. There's an additional customer list at the back of this account book. Oh, in Stonewoo's customer list, how come these names are on it? Whose names do you know? Who are they? Lo Pei, Lo Shuen. I remembered Lo Pei and Lo Shuen were both involved in the case you handled in Hunan. Yeah, it's our first case. How did these two become the clients of Stonewoo, despite being so far away from Shanghai? He's smuggling stuff. That's really strange. I'm sure this is just like black market stuff. We need to figure out first what exactly Woo's store is selling. That looks like fake cola. Also, we're looking at that fish. No? Look, okay, look at the cabinet first. In the middle of the sealed liquor cabinet, there are various types of wine glasses placed. On the top and bottom of the cabinet, there are some bottles of alcohol stored. As for the specific type, I just don't recognize them. Did we miss anything? No, I didn't miss anything that way. Let's have a look at the desk. We'll have to mention the fish. On one side of the table, there are many bottles of cola water. One bottle is half covered with a lid and there's still some unfinished soda left in it. There are alcohol lamps, flasks, condensers and other instruments on the table. Looks like some kind of extraction experiment is being conducted. Underneath the table, there's some fish bones. Hello, cat. Mr. Ginger. The missing cat. Yes, it is. Alright, to be fair, Mr. Ginger actually looks quite like the image, the photo. Such a cute kitty. So, those fish bones were leftovers from his meal. Yes, indeed. Let's go see the cat. Maybe question, could this be Mr. Ginger that Cece's looking for? Orange clothes, white gloves, big wide eyes, pointed ears, long tail. Fits the description perfectly. Kitty, are you Mr. Ginger? Can I shake your paw? Seems Mr. Ginger doesn't like people. Mr. Ginger seems to be not intentionally avoiding people, but rather injured. Meow, meow, indeed, his mouth and paws seem to be frostbitten. Paws, mouth, fish. Mr. Ginger must have gotten the frostbite on his paws and mouth while eating frozen fish. Seems that Mr. Ginger has been kept in the cellar for the past few days and he's starving. I mean, he's got plenty of fish. Uneaten fish. Are we taking the fish? Wasn't. Seems like there's something inside the fish's belly. It's a wax paper package. Let's open it. He is smuggling. Inside there are a dozen wax pills, each one labelled with the words opium cessation pill. Is he smuggling those into... He's a smuggler. Okay. If we're getting deeper in it, we're now. Fu, let's check the fish in the boxes again. Fu and Koshin open the boxes one by one. The first box is filled with half a box of dry ice and the fish inside has been taken away. The second box contains a big black carp placed in dry ice. The third box is filled with the brim with small yellow crocus. But the cover is not tightly closed and most dry ice on the surface has already evaporated. Should we call up on the fish to take a look? No, could cause frostbite just like Mr. Ginger. I have a pair of gloves in my bag. If we put them on, we should be fine. Yeah, you shouldn't touch dry ice, it's bad for your skin. Temperature's too low, you need to wear leather gloves. I'm going to ask Officer Lee for help. A whole hour? Alright. These yellow crocus are just a cover. Stonewoo's actually selling opium cessation drugs. Selling opium cessation drugs is legal, so why do it secretly? Alright, I didn't realise they were legal. Well, I heard Shane mention before that most of these drugs on the market are fake and substandard. So what Stormwoo was selling is definitely nothing good. Alright, so he's taking information. He's taking, selling dodgy products. As smugglers tend to do. It's getting late. Must quickly return to the police station and explain the situation here. Let's be careful not to cause any trouble later on. Of course then, Officer Wu must have got results of the fingerprint examination by now. Let's also go back to the police station and have a look. Sure, we should also bring this rescued gentleman back to a CC. A few minutes later, at the police station. What? You saying that all the fingerprints on the magazine belong to Stormwoo? I've compared them repeatedly and they are indeed his fingerprints. This gun belongs to the victim. It's not surprising his fingerprints are on the magazine, is it? No, but it does make sense, but... I thought we'd be able to find the murderer. Don't be discouraged, Afu. Our investigations made significant progress. Yeah, it is. Because if he loaded the gun, if he loaded the magazine, and his Stormwoo's fingerprints are on all of this, why is Stormwoo's fingerprint not on the bullet case and that thing? Because Shen wouldn't have loaded an extra round into the gun. If it was him, if it was him, he wouldn't have taken the magazine out, not leaving any fingerprints, not covering up the fingerprints on the magazine already, and he wouldn't have put an extra bullet in. For the moment, the evidence we have collected is roughly just these. In addition to that, Corson and I have made some other preparations. Now, it's time for the second trial. Alright. Are we going to be able to save it? I'm going to stop. I think we're going to stop here before we jump back into this. We've had a good run here. Chinese citizen Shen Chongping is suspected of shooting and killing Chinese citizen Stormwoo. The second trial will now begin. This case is handled by Shanghai Governor Quan Ching. Judge Quan, please proceed. Court is now in session. Right. Can I pause it right here? Yes, we can. Alright. Because I don't think this is just gonna run right the way through. I'm gonna save it now. We're gonna save it. I'm gonna go big me because we are leaving this for this week. So found a whole load of extra evidence, which I'm pleased about. At least we can now have some ammunition in court to refute any allegations and try and work out what's going on here. Seems that Stonewoo is a smuggler, has been smuggling various things. So obviously, the normal delivery method or transport method for drugs and stuff like that, and cessation pills and medicines, they usually are not done via fish. I've never seen anything being delivered by fish, except maybe fish itself, the actual meat of the fish. Cod roe, maybe, like fish related products, maybe by fish. But medicines, no. You don't do that by fish. I've never known that. Never known the thing. So he seems to be a smuggler of some variety, and I'm assuming it looks like he was trying to make the cola water. I don't know whether he's the phantom thief and he stole the recipe for the cola and he's been making a knockoff product in his basement lab. That might have something to do with it. And obviously the cola water company, the Watson company, they obviously would be a bit miffed about that and probably had him deleted and framed Shen just to get him out of the way, to stop him investigating the murder, cover up, that kind of thing. That seems reasonably logical to me. That seems logical. I've no idea if that's correct. We're going to find out next time. So thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please let me know in the comment section below. If you are new here, feel free to come hang out, come check out some other stuff that we'll have going on. We would love to have you here. If you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you again for all support. It is much appreciated. If you want to go above and beyond on that though, you can opt into the membership program. You can grab a tier 1 and get your name up on the wall. If you grab a tier 2, however, you get your name up there as well, and you get early access to these videos roughly a week in advance. It varies slightly, but it's roughly a week in advance. Occasionally we do bonus videos as well. So if you're interested in that, great. If you're not, don't worry about it. As I always say, memberships are always appreciated but are never mandatory. You can drop in and out whenever you want. It's all good for me. I'm all good. Also, please remember to be a light in the dark for someone. You never know when a single act or word of kindness could change someone's day, life, or for the better, or in ways that you may never understand or never even know. Generally, your words have power. Use them wisely. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and you all know what's coming. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And as always, see you on the flip side. Bye bye.